On the remote island of Rinca in Indonesia, two Komodo dragons ruled their respective territories with an uneasy truce. Draco, a powerful and wise elder, held sway over the western side, while Varanus, younger and more ambitious, controlled the east. Their territories were divided by a narrow strip of land, an invisible border that neither dared cross. Draco had seen many seasons and bore the scars of countless battles. He was respected by all for his strength and wisdom, his scales a tapestry of survival. Varanus, on the other hand, was in the prime of his life, his scales gleaming with health and ambition. He looked at Draco's territory with growing envy. While he had to fight for every scrap of food, Draco's land seemed abundant, the prey plentiful and the waters cool and clear. Varanus could not understand why the elder dragon deserved such bounty. His envy grew each day as he watched Draco bask in the sun with a full belly, while he and his kin struggled to find enough to eat. This jealousy festered, and Varanus began to dream of taking Draco's land for himself. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the island, Varanus crept to the border of their territories. He stared at Draco, who was resting on a rocky outcrop, his eyes half closed. The elder dragon looked serene, almost vulnerable. Varanus's claws dug into the earth. "Soon," he whispered to himself, "soon all this will be mine." Varanus's envy turned into obsession, and he started to plot Draco's downfall. He knew that a direct confrontation would be risky, for Draco's strength and experience were formidable. Instead, he decided to seek out the ancient shaman of the island, an enigmatic and mystical figure rumored to possess great powers. The shaman lived in a cave at the edge of the island, shrouded in mystery and legend. Varanus had heard tales of her strange abilities, but desperation drove him to seek her out. One moonless night, he made his way to her lair, a place where the air seemed to hum with ancient magic. The shaman, an old dragoness with eyes that seemed to see into one's soul, listened to Varanus's plea. "I want Draco's strength, his territory, his life," he declared. The shaman's eyes glittered with an unreadable expression. She agreed to help, but her price was steep. Varanus would owe her a favor, to be called upon when she saw fit. Desperate and impatient, he agreed without hesitation. The shaman conducted a ritual under the cover of darkness. Strange symbols were drawn in the dirt, and an eerie chant filled the air. As the ritual reached its climax, a bolt of energy struck Varanus and Draco simultaneously. Pain surged through Varanus, and he blacked out. When he awoke, something felt profoundly different. The air around him smelled different, and his body felt strange. As he looked down at his claws, his heart skipped a beat. They were not his. In a panic, he scrambled to a nearby pool of water and saw the reflection of Draco staring back at him. The body swap had been a twist Varanus had not anticipated. He now inhabited Draco's body, and Draco was in his. Panic and confusion gripped him, but he knew he had to act quickly. If Draco realized what had happened, he could easily reclaim his territory, or worse, expose Varanus to the rest of the dragons. Meanwhile, the real Draco, now in Varanus's body, awoke to a terrifying realization. The old shaman's cave echoed with his roars of rage and confusion. He understood that Varanus must have plotted this betrayal, but he needed to remain calm and find a way to reverse the curse. Varanus, now in Draco's body, tried to settle into his new life. He feigned wisdom and strength, but the other dragons sensed something amiss. They whispered among themselves, questioning Draco's sudden change in demeanor. Varanus struggled to maintain the facade, his jealousy and impatience often shining through the veneer of Draco's collected exterior. One day, while exploring his new territory, Varanus stumbled upon an old hidden scroll in Draco's lair. The scroll spoke of an ancient artifact, the Heart of the Dragon, which had the power to grant any wish but was hidden in a distant land. Desperate to secure his position, Varanus decided to embark on an odyssey to find this artifact, hoping it could solidify his new identity and grant him undisputed power. Draco, in Varanus' body, realized what Varanus was planning and decided to follow him. He knew the Heart of the Dragon could be the key to undoing the body swap and restoring order. Their journey led them through treacherous jungles, across perilous rivers, and into unknown territories inhabited by creatures as dangerous as themselves. The journey to find the Heart of the Dragon was fraught with danger and challenges. Varanus, in Draco's body, struggled with the wisdom and patience required to navigate the perils of the journey. His impatience often led to near-fatal mistakes, but his sheer determination pushed him forward. Draco, in Varanus's body, faced his own set of challenges. Without the strength and experience of his old body, he had to rely on his cunning and knowledge to survive. He was often underestimated by other creatures, which he used to his advantage. Despite the hardships, he remained focused on his goal to reverse the curse and reclaim his true self. Their path led them to a dense forest, known to be the home of a giant python that guarded the way to the heart of the dragon. The python was ancient and wise, a formidable foe that neither Varanus nor Draco could defeat alone. They realized that to overcome this challenge, they would need to work together, despite their animosity. Varanus was reluctant, but Draco's calm and strategic mind convinced him. They devised a plan. Varanus, with Draco's strength, would engage the python in a direct fight, while Draco, with Varanus' agility, would find a way to outsmart and outmaneuver the serpent. Their plan worked, but not without cost. Varanus sustained injuries, and Draco narrowly escaped the python's crushing coils. Their cooperation, however, led to a grudging respect. Varanus began to understand the true strength that came from Draco's wisdom and experience, while Draco saw the raw potential and determination in Varanus. They continued their journey with a newfound, albeit fragile, alliance. After weeks of travel and numerous trials, they finally reached the sacred cave that housed the heart of the dragon. The cave was a place of immense power, the air thick with ancient energy. The heart of the dragon, a glowing gem pulsating with life, rested on an ornate pedestal. As they approached, the shaman appeared before them, her eyes glowing with ancient magic. "You have come far," she said, "but only one can claim the heart. The other must surrender their desire." Varanus, driven by his insatiable ambition, lunged for the heart. But Draco, with the wisdom of his years, paused. He realized that the heart's power could corrupt and destroy if taken with selfish intent. He stepped back and, in a gesture of true wisdom and strength, he spoke, "I relinquish my claim. Let Varanus have it if it means restoring balance." The shaman nodded, her eyes softening. "True strength lies in wisdom and sacrifice," she said. With a wave of her claw, the heart of the dragon glowed brighter, enveloping both dragons in its light. When the light faded, Draco and Varanus found themselves in their rightful bodies once more. The shaman smiled. "The heart grants not wishes, but wisdom. You both have learned valuable lessons on this journey." Varanus, humbled by the experience and Draco's selflessness, bowed his head. "I see now what I did not before," he said. "I am sorry for my actions." Draco nodded, accepting the apology. "Let this be a new beginning for both our territories." The two dragons returned to their homes, not as rivals, but as allies who had faced an outlandish odyssey together. Their story became legend among the Komodo dragons, a tale of jealousy, betrayal, and redemption that taught future generations the true meaning of strength and wisdom.